Hey everybody, it's time to talk about the week 3 announcements. This is kind of a big week. We have a couple of new elements coming into the class. So I want to go ahead and make sure that everybody's aware of what's going on. So this will be a little bit longer than the normal announcements. But let's go ahead and dive right in. So based on going through week 2 and going through our first engagement exercise, I was asked the same question a lot via private email and a variety of other formats. So I just want to reiterate. So if you have a question about course material, please look at the weekly discussions first. It's just so much easier if we all post in a common space. That way you can see if your question's already been asked, if it's been answered. If you see that your question has been asked but it's not been answered, you can like it. Or if you just see it's been asked and you want to go ahead and draw my attention to that, that's important to you all as a class, go ahead and give that question that was asked a like, something like that. That can really draw my attention to it. This should save a whole lot of time because now I'm not getting scores of emails about the same question. We all have this common hub where we can engage with the material. We might get insights from one another that we'd otherwise miss. So let's try to take advantage of some of the benefits that this online world is offering us. Do that if you have a question. If you don't see it, your question there, post it. And that question, of course, can be anything on the lecture slides themselves, my textbook, or it can be on the lecture videos for the week, questions about the engagement exercises, if there's a troublesome homework question that's related to that week's materials, or go ahead and post it there. But I'm probably going to create a discussion for each homework. I'm a little bit worried then that we are going to have a lot of discussions running around. So for homework number 1, that's going to be due this Wednesday, just go ahead and post those questions in the week 3 course material discussion, just so we can go ahead and put that there as I figure out if I want to create a whole host of a new class of discussions. So it also seems that many of you might be having trouble still finding things on Canvas. And I know asking you to go look for something on Canvas to figure out how to find things on Canvas is a little bit absurd. Well, hopefully you can navigate yourself to the week 1 modules. Everybody's found where those are, and watch my course essentials videos. One of the videos I even bring up Canvas and I navigate around it to show you how you can find things on how I have built out our Canvas page. So if you feel a little bit lost on where to find things on Canvas, watch that video. Make sure that you're always checking the schedule. That is one of the key things. And always check the announcements and the readmes for the week whenever I post those in our weekly modules. Now, a bit of fun. The UTK Astronomy Club is active this fall, but they're going to be socially distanced. So a lot of the meetings and activities will be ones that don't involve gathering in large groups. So if that makes you feel safer, definitely check out the Astronomy Club. If you're just interested in astronomy in general, you like what you've seen in this class so far, you've always been a fan of dinosaurs or outer space. Unfortunately, we haven't found dinosaur bones on the moon yet. So if you're just interested in the outer space part, which I think most of us were growing up, maybe check out the first meeting. I posted a flyer on Canvas. Our president for the Astronomy Club is Maggie Hingston. She is a TA for this class, so if you would like to email her, you can find her email on the syllabus. It's right on the first page, right at the top material on the syllabus. I also want to go through the assignments. So let's take a look at these one by one, to really hammer in what you need to be paying attention to. So these are the things you want to jot down and put on your calendar. So week 3 engagement exercises, always due on Sunday. So these will be due this Sunday, September 6th at 11:59 p.m. These are not released yet. Again, I hope to get these out to you by Thursday evening. And again, you'll get an infinite number of tries. If you have questions, just like you did with the week 2 engagement exercise, post them on the weekly Canvas discussion. Homework 1, unit part 1, is going to be due this Wednesday. It's been available to you for a while. It is due Wednesday, the 2nd of September at 11:59 p.m. Again, if you have questions about that material, go ahead and use this week's discussion, week 3. Or if you really want to, you can post it in week 2, but I'd rather everybody tries to aim for week 3. If you have questions as you go through that material, remember these questions are a little bit more in-depth than our engagement exercises to really make sure that you're getting the concepts and covering a wider breadth, because I'm always trying to keep the engagement exercises to about 10 questions. And honestly, there are a lot more material than 10 questions can cover. And a big one, I'll always give you at least a week announcement for our quizzes. You have, well, a lot of time if you actually go check the schedule, but quiz 1 is next week. And I'm going to spend the next entire slide talking about quiz procedures, but just a brief one. So your first attempt at the quiz, remember you're going to get 2 attempts. Your first attempt will be next Monday, the 7th of September. It will be available to you on Canvas. So you'll just be able to find it on Canvas. I'll provide links, or you can navigate to the assignments or the quizzes and find it there. And it'll be available for you to take between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. So you have a 12-hour window. But once you start the quiz, you'll only have a 12-minute timer to complete it. Why am I using a timer? Well, it's because I want you to study for these quizzes. In fact, the studying is where a lot of the learning is going on. And then we just need to motivate you to study, and that's more what the quiz is about. So you have 12 minutes to complete it. So yes, you should have studied. Yes, that score is going to count for your first attempt as part of your final grade. So make sure you do your due diligence and study for it so you can complete the quiz and the 12-minute timer. In class sessions in the past, it's a 10-minute timer, so you have a little bit extra time. And that's because I am doing this open note. So I wanted to give you a little bit more time in case you need to go check your notes for one answer or so. But after you take your first attempt, I'll have the grades. I'll see what were the most missed questions, and I'll be able to create a Canvas discussion, give you some feedback so that you can take your second attempt on Thursday, the 10th of September. And again, available on Canvas from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and there'll be a 12-minute timer. I have posted quiz hints on Canvas. It says by the end of the day, but I decided if I'm going to make the announcement, let's just go ahead and knock it out. They are available to you on Canvas. I've also posted the quiz 2 hints, and I'll try to post the quiz hints a little ahead of schedule, and that way you can use the quiz hints to sort of focus your efforts as you go through my textbook slides. You can see what I find the most important concepts are, which should help you pay attention and really study from the textbook a little more thoroughly. Okay, so 2 attempts, one on Monday and one on Thursday. Your final grade will be the average of the 2 attempts. If you're happy with your first attempt, then don't worry about taking the second attempt. I'll just take your first attempt as your final grade. So if you got an 11 out of 12 on your first attempt, you're like, hey, I'm happy with just missing 1. I don't want to go ahead and take the second attempt. Then go ahead and skip the second attempt. You have to do the first attempt, however, because otherwise nobody would use the first attempt. They'd just glean all the information they could from the actual discussion, sort of short-circuiting the entire let's learn from our mistakes methodology. So I need to make it so you have to take the first attempt. If you skip the first attempt, that will be a 0. And remember that the final quiz grade will be the average of the 2 attempts. Now I want to remind you of quiz procedures. So quizzes are open notes. You can use whatever notes you want. You can bring up the lecture slides. I would really suggest, however, getting out a sheet of paper or however you like to take notes, whatever document thing you like to use on a computer that you like to take notes on, however you physically do notes, take notes, try to condense down your studying to like a 1 or 2 pager of all the key concepts. Because each one of those things that you put as you go through and you're studying, the studying is creating such a document. And then what you're doing, you're putting little tiny memory anchors along the way. So you might run into a question and be like, oh, I can't remember this, but you know exactly where to look in this 1 to 2 pager note sheet that you made. And just by looking at it, probably you're going to recall. And then that way the 12-minute timer won't get you. So yes, it's open note. I think this is a useful device to help you learn the material, but it is not open friend. You have to do the work yourself. So don't be on the phone with your friend. Don't be Skyping with your friend. Don't try to take the quiz with your friend simultaneously. I use large pools of questions. I'm not quite sure how many unique versions there will be of the quizzes, but I can say for the exams, I make more unique versions of the exams than there are stars in the universe, and you know how many stars there are in the universe now. So you are not taking the same quiz as your friend. You will not be doing either of yourselves a favor by trying to work on them together because they are different quizzes. Since I'm using open notes and There's no reason to use a lockdown browser or use Respondus, which would require you to have your camera on. So don't worry about those programs for my class. I've decided to go with other routes to try to control cheating with the large number of multiple versions with pooled questions, and just leaning into the idea that we're all trying to learn here and build in ways for us to benefit from learning and from not cheating. So again, questions are drawn from a large pool of questions, which means that every student does have a unique quiz. Yes, some of the questions will be the same, but they'll be in a completely different order, and a large percentage of them might be different questions. And the first and second attempts will cover the exact same material, but is still going to be drawing from that pool. So your second attempt will not be an identical copy of your first attempt. So you can't just learn the answers that you got wrong on your first attempt and think that's going to do fine for your second attempt. You actually have to take the time to go back and shore up the things that you're having the most trouble with, the concepts that you missed, and then take your second attempt. There will be a discussion between attempts that I'll create on Canvas, and this is going to be where I can address some of the most commonly missed questions and concepts. No, I'm not just going to give you the answers. I'm going to try to lead you to the right answers and guide you in your studying. And you also have the chance here to ask your own questions. So maybe there was something that I had missed that wasn't in the sort of quick rundown, or you want a little bit more thorough explanation than just my sort of bulleted list of here are the most commonly missed questions or concepts and my sort of quick addressing of it. So you have a chance to ask me questions, and we'll be hopefully those will be very active for the 2 days between the attempts. And it's really giving you the time between the attempts and the discussion is giving you a time to review your notes, the videos, and refocus your studying. I know this has been a long going through the announcements, but there was a lot of stuff I wanted to tell you about. Please don't forget any of these assignments. Mark them on your calendar. And I will be releasing the week 3 videos as we go along in the week, so keep an eye on Canvas. All right, thanks for tuning in.